1 Thessalonians 2:17. Since we were torn away from you, actually the verb there means to be orphaned from. Since we were torn away from you, Paul says to the Thessalonians, for a short time, in person, not in heart. They were physically away from each other, but their hearts were not torn away or orphaned from one another. In person, not in heart, we endeavored the more eagerly and with great desire to see you face to face. That's how I, as your pastor, that's how Davey, that's how the elders feel about you. That verse, maybe more than any other right now, captures how we are operating and desiring to operate as we shepherd this church. Since we were torn away from you for a short time, in person, not in heart, we endeavored the more eagerly and with great desire to see you face to face. And so toward that end, friends, we are continuing over these next couple of weeks to continue to gently open back up as a church. And let me just give you a few of the details attached to that reopen and a little bit of the reasoning why, just to give you something of a window into what the elders with counsel from the reopen team has been wrestling through and praying over and determining as we move forward as a church through this spring. This Sunday, of course, is Palm Sunday. Davey is going to be preaching for us Mark 11. Mark 11, 1 through 11 is the passage we'll be looking at the triumphal entry this Sunday. Then next Friday and Sunday, Good Friday and Easter Sunday, I'll preach both of those messages, lead those services again in Mark. Mark 15 for Good Friday, and then Mark 16 for Easter Sunday. Crucifixion, resurrection. So we'll be in Mark's gospel here for the next week and a half or so as we go through Holy Week. Now this Sunday, we are going to, here's the plan, we're going to increase our capacity at both services from 145 to 175. We are then going to do the same thing next Sunday. I don't think we'll need to go above 145 for Good Friday, but next Sunday, Easter Sunday, same thing, 175. A second change we will be introducing on Easter Sunday and going forward is singing. We're all still going to have our masks on the whole time and all that kind of thing, but we're going to be singing the songs starting Easter and going forward, and not just the last song as we have been doing the last couple of months. Now, right now, if you're thinking 175, I thought 145 was at that 25% capacity guideline that the state has been giving us. The answer is yes, that's true. 145 is 25% capacity of our worship center. Here are a couple things, though, to bear in mind as just to help you understand why we feel quite confident and comfortable going to 175 starting this Sunday. 175, or actually even more than 175, we could probably do, still maintains 6 feet social distancing. So for example, when we have 145 people in the worship center, most people have much more than 6 feet between them and other people. We can actually go up to in the 170s or beyond and still maintain 6 feet of social distancing. So there's that. Another reality to bear in mind here is we are not, say, a restaurant. I mean, if a restaurant in downtown Naperville is operating at 25% capacity. Remember, that's very low ceilings. It's one main entrance. It's waiters and waitresses bustling around, touching food and drink and all this kind of thing. It's one thing for that restaurant to be at 25% capacity. It's another thing for our worship center with a ceiling way up high, lots of aeration, multiple entrances, a very touchless experience. Everyone's very carefully operating. It's another thing for our worship center to have 25% capacity. Another thing to bear in mind is you may have seen just in the last day or two, the state has rolled out this bridge from phase 4 to phase 5 document. You might have seen that on the state's website, where they are saying we're on the verge of going into a 4-week period, bridging from phase 4 to phase 5, where we are going to have most of our public venues going from 25% capacity to more like 60% capacity. You can find this online online and read it. So that's just to say the state itself is on the verge of taking a big step forward anyway. And for us, Easter is really a very apropos time for us to take a step forward as well. Finally, let me just remind you of this. We are not called as the elders of this church to do only what the state says. We are called to be mindful of what the state says. They are there, positioned there by God for our good, but our specific calling goes deeper than what the state is doing. Namely, we are called to care for your souls and being gathered in person, or as Paul says in 1 Thessalonians 2, face to face, to sing together, to hear one another sing, to take the sacrament, to enjoy fellowship in the hallway. All of this together, in gathered worship, is a matter of soul strengthening. So we have an obligation to God to do that. So that is really informing how we are thinking. We want to be very careful and cautious and have various precautions laden, informing what we do. But that's a bit of the rationale there. All right. Feel free to be in touch with the elders if you have questions about that. And of course, we'll be able to do some outdoor services here, hopefully coming up pretty soon as well, which will be a lot of fun. Our elders have been in touch with you. If we haven't seen you in a while, thanks for receiving their calls or emails. We just love you and want to care for you and want you to be doing all right. Our deacons continue to stand by. If you need some material assistance or support in any way, they are there to help you in that way. If you're not in a growth group, a small group, just email us at thechurchconnect@mpchurch.org. We would love to help you connect with a group, whether that is happening virtually or in person. That's an important part of what's happening as well. So friends, I look forward to seeing you soon. And I feel very much what Paul felt when he said, we were torn away from you for a short time. Doesn't seem that short, does it? But in person, not in heart. Isn't that the truth? We've been torn away in person, but not in heart. And we endeavor the more eagerly and with great desire to see you face to face. So we hope to see you face to face in due course. Don't come in if you're uncomfortable with it. But as you are able and as the vaccines come out, we will love to see you. Jesus loves you. Bye for now.